All right, fractions. So we're going to go over how to add, subtract, multiply, and divide fractions. So for adding and subtracting fractions, we have to find common denominator. So let's look at a couple. If you're as you're looking at this, if you're uncomfortable with common denominator, we have a video on common denominator on YouTube as well as in the app, and there's also a topic on just practicing finding common denominator. And if you're struggling with that, then adding and subtract is just going to cause all kinds of problems for anything with fractions. So it's important to get the practicing on that. If you got it, great. Okay, so common denominator. So the denominator is the bottom number in the fraction. And so we need that to be the same in order to be able to add or subtract fractions. Okay, so given that this guy right here is an 8, we need this guy to become an 8, right? And so to do that, multiply both the top and the bottom. The numerator is called to the top, denominator bottom, by the same number. Okay, so 1/2 is the same as 4/8. Okay, so now what we will have is 3/8 plus 4/8. And so when you have this, so when the denominator is the same, we just leave it the same over here. So we don't add it up and say it's out of 16. But the top, the numerator, we do add, and we get 7/8. Okay, so that's how we do that one. And then we'll do one with subtracting, a little more practice with common denominator before we jump to multiplying and dividing fractions. Okay, so this one we go 3/4 minus 2/3. Okay, same exact denominator concept when we're subtracting fractions. This one's a 4, this one's a 3. Okay, so that's no good. We need both of them to be the same. Okay, and so as far as like factors of 4, I'll put it down here. Factors of 4. Right, so we've got 4, 8, 12. We'll stop there for now. Factors of 3. And we need these numbers to be, we need to find one where 3 and 4, where they come up with the same number. And so I'm just, adding 3 each time. 6, 9, still don't have anything the same. 12. Okay. So I got 12 here and 12 here. Okay. So that's going to work. Let me erase that back out. So we're going to get a denominator of 12 for both of these. And then we can subtract. Okay. So on this one right here, get my pen back. On this one right here, 4 times 3 is 12. 3 times 3 is 9. Right? I just multiplied the top and the bottom by 3 to get to 12. On this one, 3 times 4 is 12. Right? I multiplied this by 4. And so I'll do the same thing at the top. 2 times 4 is 8. Okay. Same exact concept as when we were adding just a second ago. If the denominator is the same, this right here stays the same, so I keep it at 12. Then 9 minus 8 is 1, so I just do it like normal subtraction, just like I did with addition. Okay, and so our answer is 1/12. Okay, so if any of that is confusing, it's most likely a issue with finding common denominators. And again, I highly recommend getting into the app and getting your practice in on common denominators. If you're good to go, then let's jump to multiplication and division. Okay, so let's take a look at this one. So we have Okay, so this one we added a variable, right? X over 10 times 10 over 40. Okay, so if we're looking at something like that, where you can do it a couple of ways, but we're just going to go straight across. So x times 10 is 10x. 40 divided by 10, or 40 times 10, 400. Okay, you can cross a 0 out here, cross a 0 out here, and we get just 1x, or x divided by 40. Okay, so that would be an answer, and sometimes you could just get something without a variable, just 4 numbers. Okay, so if it's 3 over 5 times 4/7, let's say. Okay, and then again, we just multiply straight across. We don't have to do anything with the denominators or anything else like we did with adding and subtracting. 3 times 4 is 12. 5 times 7 is 35. Our fraction is 12 out of 35. Pretty straightforward. Okay. And then finally, we have dividing fractions. Okay, so this one we'll say we have 8 thirds. So the rule of dividing fractions is we flip the second fraction and then we multiply. We'll show you what that means here in a sec. 8 thirds divided by 1/3. Okay, so then what we're going to do is we're going to flip this one. So the 3, which is right now in the denominator, down at the bottom, this thing right here, will become, this will go there, up to the numerator, to the top part of the fraction. This will go down to the bottom part of the fraction, and then we multiply them. So 8 thirds stays the same, times the 3's now at the top in the numerator, the 1's now in the denominator at the bottom. Now we can just multiply these guys out. 8 times 3 is 24. 3 times 1 is 3. 24 divided by 3 is 8. There's your answer. Okay, so that's how you divide fractions. Okay, so kind of just to review here, adding and subtracting fractions, our key is to find that common denominator. Multiplying fractions, you just multiply numerator times numerator, denominator times denominator. Division, flip that second fraction and multiply. If you know all that, you're going to do great on fractions.